Welcome all of you. We, the team of KathaKrafters, we are actually a team of four passionate storytellers. Uh, but today, only three of us will be performing because one of our favorite tellers, Geeta Subramaniam, cannot join because of some personal problems she's having. So we have here Meera Venkatesan. She's a professional performance storyteller, trainer, learning consultant. Her list is quite big. She loves to don several hats like writing, scripting, poetry, everything. Then you have Anagha. She is actually an engineer by profession and worked in the IT industries for 10 years and then realized that's not it for her. She came into storytelling. Not only that, she's a yoga practitioner and a Bharatanatyam dancer as well. So she tries to bring all these into her storytelling. You should see her mudra story when she tells stories with her mudras. Yeah. And then we have Geeta Subramaniam. Though she's not here, I still have to introduce her. She is one great, what do you say, bundle of energy. She is an educationist, academician, and storyteller by passion. She writes, what do you call it, books on for teaching teachers, trains teachers. All this is her. That's what she does. And me, I'm Parvathy Eswaran. I love storytelling. It's a passion. It's a passion, a choice I have taken up after my corporate world. And I love teaching, telling stories to children, take workshops for children, for adults. Yes, that's about it, about KathaKrafters. And Eric had been very great. And this Chennai Storytelling Festival is a wonderful space where we have been uh, eagerly waiting every time. When would Eric give the thing that when will the CSF start and when we can perform in this festival? And today we are here quite excited with our program. Hope you'll all enjoy it.
Okay, so what is this all about? I want to give a brief introduction to why we chose this topic, why it resonated with us. Of course, with CSF, the theme of growing and maturing is something that has constantly made us think in different directions and not always women oriented. So there was once we looked at the different growth of textile industry, where once we looked at rising from the ashes, and this time we thought, okay, let's come back a little and look at women entrepreneurs. Why specifically women entrepreneurs? Um, in fact, this is something that I have seen in many successful women entrepreneurs around me. While we do talk about the glass ceiling which women have to break to become successful in a profession, with an entrepreneur, it's not really a glass ceiling, it's a real concrete ceiling which they have to break and move ahead. So they are put in a position where they have to prove themselves for no possible reason, because they are starting with the assumption that it is not possible. At least this was the case. And today, we do have many, many women entrepreneurs who have successfully broken this concrete ceiling and have literally paved a path or a tunnel through which we and many of us are able to move through. So, we have a different variety of women entrepreneurs which we are going to focus today. And to tell you a little more about the format of this session, I'll hand it over to Anagha.
Yeah, hello again. So, today, what we are going to do is the three of us have taken up three stories that we will be presenting, and we are interspersing the three stories with myths about entrepreneurship, especially about women entrepreneurship. And the format goes that about each myth we have a conversation, and then we open the floor to the audience for you to guess what the myth is, and then we continue with the story. So, shall we move ahead with the first myth, Meera?
Yes, absolutely. So, Anagha, are you ready for this conversation?
Yes, I am. Well, I am not Anagha now. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm a investment banker.
Mhm.
Ma'am, this is your application. 65, I see. Do you have your son or someone younger come along with you?
Why should they come? Why should he come? It's my venture and it's my idea, and I need the funding. So I want to discuss with you about my plan.
A new venture at this age. A woman to boot, I must say.
Um, I felt that was quite disrespectful and a very cliche statement. See, this is an idea that has been brewing in my mind, and it is something that is going to make a big difference in the life of senior citizens like me. And I've had it all worked out. But hearing you, I think let me hear what your reservations are before I put forth my ideas.
Sorry, ma'am, sorry. That was my knee jerk reaction. Younger men are potential inventors and driven. It would have been okay if you were a man because he would have at least had some experience. But as a woman, you're too old and more of a caregiver. I don't think you can balance launching and running a business with your life. You're at an age where you should be playing with your grandchildren and telling them lovely stories, isn't it?
Young man, I wish you would let me decide what I want to do with my life, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry about that, ma'am. But I'm comfortable funding new ventures by younger men. You see, I am 35, and I know people of my age will perceive you and not be happy working for you. You remind me of my mom. Plus, you will leave the business world much earlier than a man of a younger age, isn't it? I'm sorry.
I don't know why I remind you of your mom, but I'm not your mom. Your mother may be different, her interests may be different. Why do you want to paint all women together with the same brush? What preconceived notions and cliche thoughts do you have? You're not even willing to listen to my proposal? Thank you, young man, for your time. I don't think that I could work with you. I I would like to work with someone who is ready to think beyond age and gender.
Okay, now the question for the audience is, what is the myth which is brought out in this conversation between these two people? Anybody can answer?
Yeah, so I think the myth here was the age.
Hmm.
This is what I could understand that mainly if it was a younger person, especially the age and the gender, but
Yeah.
mostly age was emphasized more.
Okay. Yeah. True what you said. It was not, oh, yes, it was the age as well as the um, gender, both were there because he felt that even if it was a man, he could have somehow managed this entrepreneur or the business, whatever it is. But these myths were broken, have been broken by so many women over the age of 50. So many things have come all over the place. Women are coming up. What people, you know what? Women are more self assured after working in a corporate. They are leaders and they are not bothered about the external validation at this stage of their life. They have learned to trust their instincts, make bold moves. And what about financial literacy? They know everything. They have handled finance the entire period of their life. Now, this journey of these 50-year-olds and above is actually reshaping the societal perceptions of age and gender. They have proved many a time experience, confidence, purpose are unparalleled tools for success. You agree, I think. So let's not age be a barrier. Women are not just leading businesses, they are creating legacies. They don't start something with profit alone in their mind. They want to give something to the society. That's what you find in many of the women entrepreneurs. And with that, let me go into my story. The other day, I was actually having a conversation, meeting a young mother. And she was, we were just having a lunch meeting, both of us, we were talking. And that is the time her phone rang. And immediately she picked up her bag and opened her bag to take out the phone, when out came a diaper. And then she laughed and she said, "You know what? I have diapers in my bag. I have diapers in my laptop bag. My husband has a diaper in his bag, in his laptop bag, in the glove bag. Everywhere we have these diapers. I can't imagine what we would have done. It's so easy having these diapers." Just smiled. And when a thought came about which entrepreneur we should be looking into, I was browsing and I came across this wonderful woman who changed the entire world of the caregivers, of the child caregivers. It was Marion O'Brien Donovan. You know, in the how did this person do something? All of you know that necessity is a mother of invention. Listen to this, what happened. In the 1940s, diapers were just cloth, and over that, the rubber pants were put onto the babies. Imagine rubber pants. Even today, we use those cotton diapers, yes. But on top of it, rubber pants, I can't even imagine. Mary Donovan just looked fondly at her little baby sleeping so soundly in a clean pair of diapers, clean sheets. And then she looked, oh, frustrating, like the pile of soiled clothes. This was the third diaper in 15 minutes she had changed. And it was not only the diaper which was soiled, it was all those sheets also soiled. So many sheets all over the place. She had to now wash all this. Oh, all the mothers in her generation must be undergoing all this problem. She was so frustrated. She sat down with her hands on her head, wondering. And then she looked up. She saw the shower curtain. An idea flashed in her mind. These flashes of ideas were not new to her. After all, she was a daughter of an inventor father. Her father and his twin brother, O'Brien brothers, were actually inventors of this lathes. They were very famous. They were very good. She had lost her mother at a very young age. So half the time, or many a time, she was in the factory with her father and uncle, who were going on inventing one of the other. And she was encouraged. She was thinking of all that, how much fun she had in that place. And even, in fact, she did something for the school also. She invented, which was encouraged by her father. And again, she looked at the shower curtain. She pulled it down and she took a pair of scissors and she started cutting. She cut after many attempts. Yes, I have done something. What did she do? It was a plastic cover for baby's diaper. The baby started crying. She changed her diapers and she put this cover over. Wow, that's a good idea. And she pinned it with those baby pins. A hand pricked. I hate these pins. I'm so scared. Baby will also get pricked one day. My God, this was there. And then an idea came to her. Why don't I have snaps? She made those snaps. this is a good idea, having these covers for these diapers. At least other bed sheets will not get soiled. But then I would need a breathable cloth, not these plastic shower curtains. She researched and she found that the parachute cloth was breathable. She picked up that and she cut these covers. She called it diaper covers. She called them as boaters because the babies can literally float on it. She called it a boater. And she used that and she found it very useful. She gave it to her friends there and her around them, and they were all very happy with it. Then came the thought, now I can't use it for myself or for it. So many mothers will be benefited by this. Let's do away with this rubber pants. And she went to every big places to sell her, give her idea. But none were willing to take it up. In fact, when those businesses were run by men, and they said, no. In fact, one of them said, see, we don't need this. No woman has complained about these rubber pants. And of course, you are sitting in your house. How would you know what the market needs? We know what the market needs. We are in the business. We know everything, said that man. Marion Donovan didn't give up. The entrepreneur in her was born that day. She decided that she will manufacture the diapers. And in 1949, in a very big place, New York, Saks Avenue, she sold her diapers. And it was a major hit. All the mothers loved it so much. And then 1951, she patented it. And you know what? She sold it to Keko Enterprises for a phenomenal, huge amount. She didn't stop with that. In fact, that was a beautiful, she had those snaps also for the diapers. She didn't stop with that. She said, come on, I want the cloth which we use doesn't actually absorb the water. The baby still have rashes. I need something. And she researched and she found an absorbent paper. She thought, why don't I use this for the baby? She went around, fortunately. People were not willing to test or even accept her explanation or whatever she had found. It took nearly 10 years later, Pampers came out with that. Marion Donovan patented not only this, 20 other inventions she patented. She did not establish a large-scale business empire, but she was an entrepreneur who took her inventions to market independently. And she continued to patent and commercialize all these 20 inventions. You won't believe it. The soap dish that drained excess water was invented by her, patented by her. And there was an improved clothes hanger, which was sold, all is sold in the market. That was it. So, and that isn't that a beautiful story of a wonderful lady? Maybe she's a mother of the entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs. I don't know.
Parvati? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Parvati, your video is not synced.
So network weak. Ah, okay.
Mine?
Yeah. Now you're back. Good that you're
Yeah.
back because we have a conversation to do, isn't it, Parvati? And
Yes, yes.
that means that we are getting into another role.
Yeah, I'm the boyfriend, young boyfriend. Maybe I'm 22, 23. Oh, yeah. Hey, congratulations. You didn't what you set out against all the oppositions and or one hell of a woman you. Eh?
Hey, thanks, Aman. Yep, my dream to graduate from one of the topmost fashion designing schools in Europe came true.
What next?
Well,
What
mm,
next?
I'm thinking that I'll start something on my own, but I've got all this knowledge of world fashion, and I'm sure that I can take it to the Indian market and make something affordable and sustainable for the people. That's the important thing. I don't want to do all this couture and all as of now.
See, that's where a woman's sense kicks in, thinking of giving it to others. In business, it's about business and numbers around it. No place for emotions. Ha, whatever you do you think you'll be able to manage?
Of course, I can manage. Why do men ask questions as if I can't handle anything?
Hey, something like starting on you. It's not like going to college and getting a degree. You need to plan.
I have a business plan and I have run it by all my professors and I have discussed it with them.
Oh, okay. All that is okay. But finances, getting funds, managing it as a whole, also every month, it's not your cup of tea. I mean, all women, you can't even manage your monthly allowance. By the end of every month, you're bankrupt and wondering what to do.
Hey, come on, that's something that we all fight with, all students. That has nothing to do with my professional life. And that's a subject I've learned in school. I'm 100% sure I can manage it.
You need to manage finances, madam. Pay wages, balance sheet, and all that. That's why I say you can't just go work under someone for someone and then check it out.
No, no. I am very confident. I know I can manage. And if there is something I need to learn, I will learn that.
Ah, that's what I say. Go to a finance course, do a course on finance, and spend that next 2 years. Then this idea will just fizz like
That's
all
not
your
fair. That's
plan.
not fair at all.
Well, so now that the conversation happened, what do you think is the myth that they were talking about? Myth about women entrepreneurs.
Women cannot handle the finance, maintenance, the balance sheets,
Yes,
the
that's
monthly expenditures.
true, true. Yes. So they were talking about the myth that women are not good at numbers. But that is not true, isn't it? One, we handle our family, expenditure, that even when it comes to business or professions, there are many women who have completed their CA and they are in top positions in financial organizations handling many such decisions on finance. And not just that, we have women entrepreneurs who are on the top, and if they can't do it, they hire people. And if to hire people, they need to know that stuff. Otherwise, they can be taken for a ride again because she's a woman, isn't it? So, obviously, we all know, and it's a myth that's broken by each one of us in our personal lives and more so by entrepreneurs in their businesses. Now, coming to my story, well, it's nothing to do with the myth that we talked about. Let's dive into the story. Take care. Take care of yourself. Just this sentence by the mother was enough to make Pari sob. She was watching a series on TV. She sobbed and howled at herself. Ma, is there anyone who will ever love me unconditionally just like how you did? No, Ma, there is nobody to do that. Did I love you for the love I experienced, or did I love you for yourself? I don't understand. With tears in her eyes, she went to the cupboard, opened, and kept staring into it. Memories flooded. Ma, her mom, was a very strong woman. Never showed her vulnerabilities, even in her deathbed when she was fighting pain in her due to cancer. She wondered, why was Ma like that? Never allowed anybody to love her or show love. Never showed her vulnerabilities. Always put up the stern, stoic exterior. And a memory popped. She had buried, killed that inner child of hers within herself. Never allowed it to come out. Even her silly giggle of hers, which was so beautiful and infectious. And for what? Just because the so-called closed one in her life had told, you need to behave according to your age. There are ways and means to do it. And she took it like as if it was a line that has to, from the gospel, that she has to just abide by it. And there she was, always very stern and go by the age. Well, very well, so-called, she thought it was very well presented. I missed that giggle of Amma. But I wondered, what? And just as she was thinking, the memory of the last day of her mom, the last breath came into Pari's mind. 3 days in the hospital. Her mom hadn't moved, hadn't eaten, and Pari spent the day and night just looking at her chest and the stomach to see if it is moving and if she was alive. Her body had become cold by then. On the 4th day morning at 7, she had helped the nurse give her mother a sponge bath. And just as she had finished that and she was standing at the leg side of the hospital bed, she saw that her mother shook. There was a ray of hope, but then immediately the monitors started beeping. The BP, the pulse, everything went. Her mom gasped a couple of breaths, and when her mom breathed the last, the sense of calm, the sense of joy, the sense of peace that Pari saw on her mother, she had never seen when her mother was alive. Will these memories remain? How will I make it stay? Will they just fade away? Will it go to the bottom and I'll have to rake my brains to bring forth the memories with the passage of time, just like how people say? Will that happen? Were the thoughts that were racing in Pari's mind when it was disturbed when her phone rang? It was her friend Lali. She picked up and said, "Hello, Lali," wiping her tears, trying to bring a smile. "Hey, hi, Pari. I have a good news for you." Good news? It's 6 months to today that Ma left us, and you say it's good news? Well, Pari, you remember that day when I came with you and Ma to that diamond store? Of course, I remember, Lali. Oh my God. Amma was like as if she was in a candy store, isn't it? Looking at the various diamonds, trying out the earrings and the rings. Well, Lali continued, what if I say that you could wear Ma like a diamond? What? I knew you were crazy, but you're proving that you're the craziest in the world. No. Not in the world, in the entire universe, said Pari. No. Pari, just listen to me. There was this lady, there is a lady, Adele Archer. She lost her loved one, her mentor, who was just 47, to pancreatic cancer. What? Cancer again? Said Pari. Yes, cancer again. And she was given as the custodian of her mentor Tracy's ashes. She was heartbroken. She didn't know what to do. And then an idea struck her. Ashes have carbon. Diamond is made of carbon. What if I can convert the ashes to diamond? What? Is that even possible? Asked Pari with excitement. Well, yes, it is possible. And she looked around, she researched on internet and Googled. She found that some people did it, but there was no transparency, no authentication. How could she entrust her beloved Tracy's ashes with someone? Oh, what happened then? Well, she just was talking to one of her scientist friends, and her scientist friend said, well, we can grow a diamond from carbon and we can check for the carbon in those ashes and see if they have it. Did she succeed? Asked Pari. Yes, they did. She converted her Tracy's ashes. From Tracy's ashes, they grew a black diamond and she wore it. Pari was so excited. How I wish I could do something with Ma like that. You can! Eterneva is the answer to that. Eterneva. What are you saying, Lali? You seem to be talking all kinds of words. Well, you know what Adele Archer did? She opened this company called Eterneva where they make memorial diamonds from the ashes of the hair of your beloved. It could be even pets. She opened that, and by 2019, she even went to Stark Tank and got funding. It's a long process. It's a process of 6 to 8 months. They have a video call with you, they take your ashes, and they keep you in the loop completely through the process so that you are with your loved one throughout. And you know what? You can even choose the carat and the color of the diamond. There are people who have done pink diamonds and blue diamonds too. Wow, a diamond from Mars. How one? She was just about to complete wonderful, and the bell rang, the doorbell. She opened, and she saw Lali standing there. She just hugged and melted in her arms, sobbing. She pulled Lali, and they went to the room. She opened that cupboard, and now she hugged the urn which had the ashes of her ma. She had she had it for the last 6 months, for her ma always wanted to go to Himalayas. And she was waiting to go to the Himalayas to take her ma there, and now she knew that before ma goes to Himalayas, ma will become a diamond, a 1 or a 2 or a 3 carat diamond, just like the solitaires that ma wanted to possess and Pari couldn't get her. So that way she will fulfill her ma's wishes, both the wishes. And that is the story of Adele Archer, who started Eterneva, which makes memorial diamonds from either the pet's hair or the ashes of your beloved. And all you need to do is just contact them, and they take you through the whole process. But they are in Texas. We hope they can have branches in India so that we all can try and maybe use this if we feel it is okay. Well, that was the story. Now let's move on to the next conversation. Parvati.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I'm
Yes.
here.
So now I need to de-roll, right? I'm no longer
Yes.
Anagha. I
Yes.
am your Amma.
Trust Anagha to come out with that. Yeah. Tell me. Tell
Mama,
me.
Mama. You know
Ah,
what I've been thinking?
yeah.
I think I have to leave this job.
Oh, are you finding it hard to manage the kids?
No, not really. I think I'm gonna quit and I'm gonna start a startup.
Good idea. That way you will have flexibility to take care of your home. What do you want to do?
I'm thinking of getting into the food domain, ma.
Ah, food domain. Oh, you want to be a home chef, a home baker. That's a great idea. But take only as many orders as you can. I can help you too.
No, 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 not home bakers. I don't want your help because we are not doing it at home. I'm thinking of opening a restaurant.
A restaurant? But you don't even get into the kitchen. What?
Ma, I don't have to cook. I'll hire a chef and he will do the job.
Staff? You want to hire people?
Yeah. I'm even thinking of looking out for a good space in the city. Right.
பைத்தியம் பிடிச்சிருக்கா? Are you joking? பைத்தியக்காரி. Do you know what it means to run a business? Entire time will be lost in that 24/7 finances, managing people, and the risk. Have you thought about that? What? What
You
if
are
that takes off?
ever stopping my ideas. Come on, I have a plan, a business plan in mind, and I can do it, Amma. After all, I'm your daughter, isn't it?
அதெல்லாம் ஆமா, that is all fine. But what will happen if you lose in the bargain? Your entire, you know what will happen? Your entire family's happiness you're going to use. It's not worth it.
What about my happiness, Amma? What about my happiness, my desire?
Learn to be happy with what you have. Haven't I taught you that? Women lose more than they gain when they immerse themselves in work. Being an entrepreneur, out of question.
Well, there. Does anyone want to share what is the myth that was being portrayed here? Anyone? Okay. So,
Veena wants to go.
I am in Parvathy's. I don't need to explain, and she said it all. And
okay.
as women, mothers, we don't want our children to get into that business and lose the homes. That's what we think. But Anagha, go ahead and please run that business, because as our hair grows silver, we might need your help.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes.
If I can guess, we need permission or support from family or somebody's acceptance for our ideas to be an entrepreneur or to start a business.
Very true. Acceptance of our ideas, and more than that, there is constantly this fear of a woman are being unable to balance a family and a business. While any work was at one point of time talked about like that, there has been enough proof now to come up with the fact that women are working and balancing home and work. And there is no one can deny that a mother has a very important role to play in her child's life, just as a father has. So both parents are equally important. But when it comes to work that can be all consuming, like in the case of an entrepreneur, till it comes to a steady state, most women are told that, you're doing this at a cost. You can never achieve work-life balance. While this definitely sounds true, it is a myth that has been destroyed time and again by many women entrepreneurs who have put up many successful businesses all across the globe. All they're trying to do is bring in a balance, bring in a plan, so that some things, the key things they take care of, and they're able to outsource certain things. Definitely there is a way around it, and definitely it is very important that an entrepreneur's family and children understand that once they do, then work-life balance will no longer be a myth. So on that note, I would like to share my story. Again, it's not specifically about this myth, but this is a story that really appealed to me, and I'm going to share it through a series of incidents that happened in this person's life. Sorry. Kumud, the teacher, stood inside the quadrangle of her school in Vidarbha, looking at the children playing. It was the 1970s. The children were running in the sun, completely burnt skin, but nothing seemed to matter. It was so hot, nobody wanted to step out. But what did it matter to the children? They were all together, playing together, till the headmistress walked in. The moment she walked in, she gave one scream and the children separated. Suddenly, there were two groups. Kumud looked at them. It was a time when caste was still a very, very big game changer in rural India. So, nobody wanted the children to mix and play. At least the adults didn't want. She looked at that young girl, Kumud, whose face was suddenly shrunk because she had wanted to play with everyone else. What a bright child she was, that little girl. Ambika was her name. She was always the topper in her class. She was quick to answer and very quick to help. As she was looking at her, the school help came to her and said, "Don't feel so bad for her." Huh? What? The teacher asked. "Don't feel so bad for her. That is how they are. That is how it is. The truth. We have to accept it." Kumud looked at her and said, "What truth? The truth is everyone is equal, so what is the problem?" "I don't know all that," said the school fellow. "But that girl, she's going to get married." "What?" Kumud asked, shocked. "She's just 12 years old." "Well, in her community, that's what they do. She's going to get married. They're going to take her out of school. And then she will be in her husband's house. That is her fate. Who can fight fate? That is how it is," said the school help. Kumud thought about it and finally thought, I guess it is true. Who can actually fight fate? If that is what that young girl, Ambika's life is going to be, that is how it was going to be. Shalintai lived in a slum in Mumbai. It was dinner time and she was serving food to her family. And it came again, that sound from the next house or the hut. Oof! They were shouting at that little girl and beating her up. It happened almost every day. Since that little girl, Ambika, 12 years old, she had got married and come to Mumbai. Shalintai's heart melted. After all, she was a mother. She started to go towards the door when her husband stopped her. "Where are you going? You mind your business. What they do with their daughter-in-law is their business," he told her. She nodded her head and waited. But the moment he went out for a smoke, she quickly went. She had to do something. After all, that little girl. She went in and saw the little girl sobbing. What happened, Tai? What happened to that girl? She asked. The mother-in-law looked at her and said, "I asked her to remove the stones from the rice and see. A stone, I had to bite it." I know. She still doesn't know work. We will teach her, but at least give her some food. "No. Who are you to tell me how to treat my daughter-in-law?" Oof. What could she tell? She had been witness to this for such a long time. But she too was caught in the same system, Shalintai. She knew that a daughter-in-law of the house was at the mercy of the husband's family. Whom could she ask for help? She didn't know what to do. She wanted to do something, but she slowly started walking out. She didn't know to do anything better. When, at the door, there stood a man. Shalintai moved back. The young girl, Ambika, stood up and staggered over to him and hugged him and cried, "Baba, Baba." The man looked at his daughter and said, "Ambika, you're coming back with me." The mother-in-law looked at the scene and started shouting, "What do you think you're doing? Taking your daughter away? Huh? What are you thinking? This is her house. good or bad, she has to learn to live here. The man didn't say a single word. He took his daughter and went back to his village. Devaki lived in the same village as Ambika. Now, she had a few clothes to stitch, and she hid it under her hand and walked towards Ambika's house. You see, after that father, who was a constable, had brought back Ambika, this Ambika had started stitching clothes, and she did it real cheap. You mean, everywhere you had to give like 30 rupees, she did it for 5 rupees. So Devaki used to go to her. As she was going, one of the old ladies in the village stopped her. Hey, where are you going? You're going again to that girl? No, I am just walking here and there. What are you telling? Devaki said, I know. Didn't I tell you? That girl is not to be trusted. See, she left her husband's house and came here, and you're going to give her business? Re. Why will I do such a thing? She said, and walked towards Ambika's house. But as she reached the house, she heard screams of terror. They were and a lady she knew as Ambika's aunt was carrying Ambika on her shoulder, and she was running out saying, she took poison. Devaki didn't know what to do, so she ran with her to the hospital. Soon a crowd gathered. After all, if something bad to come and know what happened. Well, as they stood there, waiting, they didn't even know if this girl was going to live. And the moment she opened her eyes, everyone started screaming at her. What do you think you're doing? First of all, you came back from your husband's house, and then you, on the top of it, you are a Dalit. On top of it, you're doing business, and on top of it, you do such things? Huh? Don't you have any further other business other than cutting off your father's reputation in the society? But Devaki was stunned because she was looking at that girl's eyes. They were not the eyes of a girl who was ashamed. They were not the eyes of a girl who had given up. Somewhere, coming back from death seemed to have changed her completely. And so, Devaki stood silent. Maybe this girl was going to change fate. The young girl, Ambika, moved back to Mumbai. And there, she took up some small work. She started tailoring. She started giving it out to people. And then, one day, she found herself in the bank. Manoj, the bank manager, looked at this girl. She had been coming very often with an application for a loan. She was entitled to it. Manoj knew it. She had all the papers, all the credentials, and she was working. She had an earning. But then he looked at her. I will suggest you don't do it, he told her. You see, what you're trying to do, it's not easy. You have some income now. You are working in a tailoring shop. You are getting enough money. Why do you want to push your luck? You've even started taking care of your parents. He called the bank clerk and told her, talk to this girl. She will get into trouble and ruin everything she has already. The bank clerk took Ambika aside and spoke to her. See, I know what happened. I know that your sister, she died because you couldn't give her medical attention. But such things happen. You know, Ambika Beti, these things are part of life. You have to accept it. You know, this is fate. Some things we can't change. So don't try to do these things. You're getting a loan, trying to start a business. Now at least you have food to eat. That is God's grace. Why do you want to push your luck more? But Ambika stood steadfast. She did not give up. And so Manoj had to give a signature and handed her the loan amount. A few years later, Afzal was walking by looking for work. He saw a furniture store. A lot of people were working there and they seemed to be quite happy. He was a carpenter by profession and he thought, why not try my luck? So in he entered into the store. The first thing he saw was the store was managed by a madam, not a sir. He started stepping back outside. What do you want? Someone asked him. I came for work, but it's okay. What are you doing here? Oh, we manufacture furniture. Lot of middle class Mumbai, lot of people are there. And they all want good furniture. But all those fancy stores, they are so expensive. So madam here, she has this beautiful idea. We make all the furniture, same pattern, same model, same to same. Cost is 1/10. You want to work? The supervisor asked him. Um, uh, I can. Madam, madam is the boss or the boss is the boss? Of course, madam is the boss. How much do you give? He asked. The supervisor told him an amount that left him shocked. Well, Afzal was quite sure that this business won't run. But what? Why not? He would get a monthly salary at least. And so he joined. And so the business ran and ran and ran for the longest period of time. It was a few years later. Jadhav stepped out of his house after fighting with his wife. These fights, they were normal now, every day. All the workers of this factory, all they did was fight at home and come back and shout slogans. They didn't know what else to do. It had been such a roller coaster ride for them. The factory had been doing well, and then everything collapsed. And then the High Court handed over the factory to all its workers. Yes, the laborers were the masters, and they thought everything will be fine from then on. But nothing was fine. The debts kept increasing. Nobody was able to handle the workers because everyone was masters. So all they did all day was fight at home, come back, shout slogans, go back, fight at home, get drunk. Everyone was at the end of their tether. And Jadhav didn't think anything would happen. After all, it was fate. What was there in the fate would happen. Nothing would change, he thought, and got ready to shout the slogans. But then he saw a lady coming. Someone said her name was Ambika, and she had a furniture store. But what was she doing here? Ambika walked up to the laborers, the workers who were there, and spoke to them. She told them that she is taking over this factory. She knew that things were going really, really wrong. They were in high debt, and it looked like they would have to liquidate the entire factory. But, she said, if you all support me, think of me as your sister. I will take you all out of this mess. At first, many of them sniggered. What others couldn't do, this lady will do. When the whole world had failed, when the government had failed, when the banks had put in so much money and they had failed, when the 1,000 workers of the factory had failed, this madam will think she will do something. But Ambika didn't flinch. She stood there and waited and waited. She took over, and after some time, the workers started seeing that things were indeed changing. She knew how to manage the vendors. She knew how to talk to the government. She knew how to get help. And the fortunes of this organization changed completely. And this person on whom I have based this story of Ambika is Kalpana Saroj. She is a woman entrepreneur who heads among many other things, Kamani Tubes, which is an organization manufacturing high fidelity copper tubing. She also is in real estate, she's also into film business, and in addition, she also runs an NGO which focuses on giving work opportunities to the youth so that they too can take a stepping stone that she did, except that she didn't have anybody to give a hand on which she could step, but she could give that hand to other people. She was awarded the Padma Shri in 2013. Thank you very much for listening to the story of Kalpana Saroj. And now, as we end, we would like to ask our audience as to what they believe are some of the myths that hold back women or have held back women in the past, through which we have come forward, not just as an entrepreneur, in any field. We would welcome you to share your thoughts.
Sometimes self-doubt and fear of trying out or going your stepping out of your comfort zone, maybe those things also.
I love it.
Very true. There are a lot of internal as well as external factors, right? Yeah, very nice. Thank you very much.
Ramya says need for acceptance and people pleasing.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Anyone else would like to share? Yes.
Geeta. And that is Geeta of
Geeta
Katha
Subramaniam.
Crafters part. One second, Geeta.
Yeah.
And that is Geeta Subramaniam, part
Yeah.
of Katha Crafters, who could not
KathaKrafters.
share her story for some
Unfortunately, today I
reason.
was not able to join because of my health issue.
Yeah.
But thank you. You know, I was able to join and enjoy the show, and thank you. And today's topic was something, you know, amazing with the KathaKrafters. As usual, they have been rocking with their, as Eric was rightly saying, KathaKrafters are always a good speakers and good storytellers. So it was amazing. But one thing I also would like to share my opinion, like there may be so many obstacles might be stopping you going further in your dream or goal or whatever it is. Or as an you need not be an entrepreneur or as a working woman. But there is a proverb in Tamil, Manam irundal margam undu. So if you have a will, so there is a way. So I'm not boasting, but at the age of 73, still I am working. And I also had father-in-law, mother-in-law to be supported and my 2 daughters to be supported. And with all the family responsibilities and other things, moving along with my husband in various places, I could continue my service. And thank you for the education field for giving me opportunity. Till today, I am working. So, Manamiranda Margamundu. I hope I am clear, right? Anybody disagreeing with me?
No.
Okay.
Geeta Aunty is always an inspiration to us. And yes, anytime we ask her, her answer would be, yes, of course, we can do it. So that is something that always has kept us going. Thank you very much, Geeta Aunty.
Okay, thank you so much. That was very brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you for the opportunity.
course. Now let's go back to gallery mode. If we can remove all these spotlights.
Yeah.
I think yeah. Remove spotlight, there we go. Now, there are, oh, now I'll stop the recording.